not reflect those of the Evening Rush Network. Viewers' discretion is advised.
Yo, what's going on?
Jumped ahead, huh?
Nah, not even. Blacko, how long have I been asking for our producer to give me a new intro? Then I tell him I wanted bells. I needed something. He keep giving me this claps. At least next week, can I get booze or something? Like, maybe I want to be the heel. I don't want to be the baby. Yeah, I don't want to be the baby face all the time. Like, come on. You gotta do better, man. You gotta do better. But anyway, welcome to the Art of the Finish Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Rellz, once again joined by the other three members of the, seems like the new four horsemen here. You got Jay Andre, Blacko, and Danny. What's going on, y'all?
What's going on?
First of all, I want to say F you to Twin. He's in the comments. He said I'm no damn Hill, but he works in the school and he spelled Hill wrong. So I'm not even going to say nothing else besides that.
Hey, he wants you to heal yourself in life.
Yeah. He should have known better. He should have known better. He didn't know I was going to get on him for that one. But what's going on, y'all?
Yo, real quick, what y'all think about Andrade smacking up Sammy?
Yo, so I read that. And and the message says that he's trying to get fired from AEW.
He is.
But Tony's gonna be the smart man, hopefully, and just make him sit there. Because if you trying to get fired by beating up another wrestler just to do it, just because you want to go back to WWE so bad, I just make you sit there and pay you out your contract while you just sit at home and do nothing. Bro, ever since Triple H came back, everybody think the grass green on the other side.
Listen, man, the man knows. Listen. I keep telling you, don't be hating on John Paul physique, man. All right.
Look, I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him, but when these dudes signed all these contracts, they knew what they was getting into. Now all of a sudden, Triple H in charge. Now all of a sudden, they want to come back.
Hey, man, that's Papa H. Papa H.
You know the business, man. Listen, you can't. One thing about Triple H, the man been in the game for damn near 40 years now. Well, no, 30. Yeah, damn, like 30-something years, 30 plus years. So, and he done went through so many different phases. He should know that he went through WCW when there was regular wrestling. When they had, he went WAF. So he's been there. Like plus,
he was terrorizing.
I know when he was just a regular Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Man, that meant you talk about different man. Listen, that's another show we need to do. Talk about wrestlers with character changes. Yeah, he done went through like 8 character changes.
Actually, it was funny. He went through that's my favorite wrestler. I mean, he went through about. Because, we were talking about Triple H. We could count the game, Kings of Kings, all that as one.
Mm-hmm.
No, but then you got to talk about terrorizing. You got to talk about Jean-Paul Levesque. Then you got to talk about Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Then you got to talk about Triple H.
4, that's it.
Yeah, because Paul Levesque isn't he the heel character on TV, the COO?
Yeah. Oh, but you got to talk about Triple H with the long pants on. Then you got to talk about Triple H with the tights.
That was my favorite Triple H right there. I ain't gonna lie. But he kept getting injured at that time, man.
So you got to.
Triple H fragile.
Then you got to talk about Triple H and DX, and you got to talk about Triple H with Evolution. So that means if you talk about character changes, if you got to talk about character changes, that man. Oh well, Jericho got about 35 character changes too.
Listen, that man, he just don't want to quit.
Nah. I mean, I don't blame him. That man's still putting on good matches, yo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, after every match, he fucking excuse my language, ladies and gentlemen. After every match, he's banged up, beat up, injured, but he still comes back and perform. I give him his credit.
Yeah, that was Triple H the last time he fought. So his whole peck in the middle of the match.
Now, anybody worse than Kevin Nash, man. My quad is injured already.
How you take your quads off a tag?
Right.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
That was what happened.
CK said, let's not forget Andrade's with Charlotte. Yeah, he is. And you know the crazy part is when Andrade first went to AEW, Charlotte was trying to find her way to AEW too, and they shut it down.
I remember that, yeah. I remember that.
But for him to try to get away, for him to try to go back now is like, come on, you trying to do it, Malachi trying to do it, Buddy Murphy trying to do it. Mm-hmm. Like,
Plus, maybe WWE money's better.
No, WWE money is better. The entertainment wise, it's better too. I honestly could say after watching last night, Triple H definitely looks like he runs the show better than Tony Khan does. But at the same time, let's talk about the ratings. AEW got another million viewers again, so they're doing something right.
They bring the celebs. And you got Fab was on there. Trina. They know what they doing, man.
Yeah, they come in for about like a cameo. But that's all it really is too.
But they tackling the urban audience much more.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Think about it. Look what happened when DX came out back in the day. Crop chopping and all that. Yo, that was we relate to that type of shit.
Oh wait, I gotta ask you because you don't really follow AEW, but I gotta ask other guys who do. What's more popular now? You know where I'm going with this, right? Yep.
Yeah.
What is about the hottest popular thing right now? Was the cross chop
Sesame
back in the
Daddy-o!
day, or what's hotter, the cross chop back in the day, or that whole scissor movement right now?
That's not even a question, bro.
The scissor movement.
Nah, bro, I don't know. You have to watch AEW to understand. Yeah,
because kids are gonna start getting in trouble in school for doing that. Trust me.
Yeah,
I understand DX. I get it because I was in that era. I get it, but you got to see this whole scissor movement right now, bro. Like it's different. It's DX all over again. 30 years later.
I'm not knocking it, but you got to think about it back in the day. Also, look how many people was like invested.
Bro,
like,
they invested now. Bro, the shirt is the number one selling shirt in 2022. And the shirt came out 2 months ago.
Everybody still cross shopping that.
Bro, now everybody's scissoring, bro. Bro, let me tell you something. I got a 51-year-old coworker who comes to work in scissors.
Well, sound like, I don't know what type of job you do, my brother,
no.
but
hey, baby, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You guys got to look at it like you got to see it like he did. He was old enough. Obviously, he's 50 something. He was in the DX era, but he never paid attention to it. But now the whole scissor movement, man, he loves it. He got an old Scissor Me Daddy T-shirt. Like I'm telling you, the shirt. I got one too. I got two of them.
I gotta buy one.
That shirt, I'm telling you, that shirt is number one selling T-shirt in 2022. It came out.
Ain't nothing bigger than nothing bigger than that.
I mean, that's just Hogan. Ain't nothing ever gonna be bigger than that.
Nothing.
But when he told you to take his vitamins, now you know what he meant by say take his vitamins.
Word, he's drugging his take your vitamins, say your prayers. Hogan, you're pervert. What the hell?
But what do you think about the whole? What do you, Jay Andre? Let me ask you a question. What do you think about this whole like AEW thing with the whole Andrade situation?
Yeah, I think he's trying to get his release. He's trying to go back to WWE because that's the Triple H was the one that booked him the best. I mean, Andrade has not been booked well.
Yeah, he needs Selena. He needs Selena Vega by his side.
Right. But I think Andrade is overrated anyway. I mean,
yeah, but at the same time, I understand why he was pissed because Sammy's talking shit behind his back, like, and they wrestlers. It's like, if you're gonna get hit me back. You get what I'm saying?
He wasn't really talking shit behind his back. It was Andrade doing an interview saying, Sammy said that he hit too soft. Then
he
Sammy
hit
messed
too
up.
hard.
No, you're right. That he hit tit hard. But what Sammy messed up is that Sammy decides to go to Twitter and talk about it.
Yeah,
and that's what it
and then bring his father-in-law into it.
He hit harder than Vader?
No, I don't think anybody hit harder than Vader.
But
when I was young, I used to do those Vader punches.
Now he tried to hurt you for real. Like Vader was, and you can see the George Foreman turn to it too.
Would was a stiff worker. A lot of wrestlers said that.
But wasn't he like a condition to the Japan style?
Yeah, exactly. So they were conditioned to hit hard anyway. So it's hard to come back to the United States, and then you have to kind of soften your style a little bit. But Vader was one of those wrestlers too, like 400 pounds that could do a moonsault. That not so many people did it back in the day like that. Only damn.
A lot of people behind the scenes, he's a pushover. Like Jim Cornette always say this. Like I don't know about y'all. I watch Jim Cornette interviews. I used to hate that guy back in the day as an on-screen manager, but how he talks, I'm a fan. And he said Vega was a big baby back in the day. He used to cry everything.
Paul Orndorff used to sun him in the backstage.
Listen, man, Paul.
But for that matter, I lost respect for Samoa Joe when he got smacked by Kevin Nash backstage after he dogged Scott Hall.
Oh, on the thing, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't fuck him up?
I mean,
he backed down.
I mean, that might have just been, let me just chill and respect this guy.
Yeah.
But remember, Kevin Nash got to a lot of people ass though in the wrestling business.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you can't. That's like a couple of guys you don't mess with.
But I heard a lot of people scared of besides Ming, besides him, everybody was scared of him. A lot of people scared of Steiner brothers too.
Oh yeah,
he was known to ass.
Yeah, Steiner. Scott. Well, we always used to see Scott Steiner look like he was off his rocker on TV.
But let's get into the topic, guys, because we've been talking about this for mad long.
Yeah, that'd be a whole nother show in itself.
That's it. Who's the hardest, the stiffest workers in the wrestling industry?
Listen, there's topics for days about wrestling, but yeah, we can get into the topic. So tonight's topic is wrestling's rivalries, wrestling's greatest rivalries, actually. So we was talking a little bit off the show before the show started when we was talking about rivalries. So I'm gonna give a rivalry right now that a lot of people probably won't be more surprised that I probably thought about this rivalry, but it actually came to me this afternoon. But it was Taz versus Sabu.
Yeah.
That was a rivalry that kind of spanned it through different promotions. Because if you remember, Taz was calling them out in ECW. It even went as far as to go to Monday Night Raw where they had a little rivalry. But the best part about that rivalry is that they never touched each other until the actual first pay-per-view.
But but question is though, how many matches they actually had?
Like two.
Like 2 or 3.
I remember like 2 of them, and I think it was the first one he broke his neck or the second one.
No, the neck broke. The neck break was Benoit.
Nah, he slew past him through the table.
Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know. Wait, did he?
Yeah, that's the second time Sabu broke his neck.
Oh, well, matter of fact, you're right. But that rivalry had you feeling like wrestling was real. They two made it look like they really hated each other.
Which they did.
Yeah, Taz didn't give 2 F's, and neither did Sabu. Sabu scared me as a kid because he looked like he was pulling the risk, life and limb for wrestling. Like he didn't care about nothing. It was 2 wrestlers. Bro, it was like 2 wrestlers at that time that scared me. It was him and New Jack.
I'm sorry, New Jack wasn't a wrestler.
Oh, you gotta turn it
what's up?
Yo, Bucks up, man.
I left my headphones in the crib, man.
Nah, it's cool though. Welcome to the show, though, bro.
All right, that's what it do. Yeah, I didn't even know we need headphones or anything like that. I would have brought my headphones, man. Like, bro, I'm dealing with no headphones right now.
Now, a lot of people ain't got no headphones on, but it's just I think you might have to turn it down because it's coming as an echo.
Okay. Yo, Karen said, "Can you send her the links? You want to be involved? You know what I'm saying?"
I'll send her the links you can watch.
Okay.
But so we talking about wrestling's greatest rivalries.
Okay.
So the first one is the first one I put was Taz versus Sabu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't really see that. I didn't really see that match too much, but I know they had some history. I know that match was wicked, but I haven't seen that match.
Yeah, they pretty.
That was ECW days.
Yes, sir. They pretty much held that down. Like they made that rivalry last pretty much like almost 2 years before they had their first match at the pay-per-view. So that was a classic. I just feel like it sucks that Taz and Sabu, well, more so Taz. I feel like Taz's career was ended kind of short.
Yeah.
And I don't think being in the WWE at the time, he wasn't given much of a chance anyway. He was too short. And then he won the title, and then they let Triple H beat him on SmackDown.
What title?
He won an ECW title. Yeah.
Who, Taz?
Yeah. So this is what happened. Remember? Mike Awesome signed to WCW while he was ECW champion.
Saturday Night Mike, I remember that.
So, and then all of a sudden Taz got the belt. But he was on loaner from ECW, got the belt, and he was able to get the belt. And then they had a match with him and Triple H.
I thought he gave it to Tommy Dreamer.
No, they did. But while he was champion, they had a match on SmackDown with him and Triple H. And Triple H beat him, of course, because it's just Triple H.
So it was a karrion cross situation.
Yeah, this Triple H was WWE champ at the time. Taz was ECW champ at the time. They had a match on SmackDown, and then Triple H beat him. But that time Triple H was beating everybody, so that was nothing new.
Yeah.
Yo, don't hate on John Paul. I keep telling you that, man.
All right, Black Hole. So what's your rivalry?
My first, like we discussed off camera, my first rivalry that I really enjoyed and really caught my attention was Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker. And like I explained to the fellas, all the listeners out there, the build up to the matches from the ground zero, from the Royal Rumble '98 to the Hell in a Cell to the 2 WrestleMania matches, them guys has put on 5-star matches. I have never seen a whack match between those two. And a lot of people don't understand, which most do. They didn't get along for half the rivalry. They didn't really get along. Undertaker made it very clear he didn't like him, especially another perked up Michaels. Everybody know he's perked up Mike.
Yes, right. WrestleMania when he didn't want to drop the belt. I don't. Do you know that story, Blacko?
We lost a smile. I know. Trust me.
No. The WrestleMania when he fought Stone Cold.
Yeah, and not on take a toll. You better. Match. I'm right
there.
I remember all of that.
Yeah.
Because he did his thing was because he felt like his back was 100% from the casting match him Undertaker had, which is another classic match.
You know what's crazy? You talk about Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. I forgot about those rivalries. I'm thinking more towards the end with Shawn Michaels' career. I forgot about like the whole Hell in the Cells and.
Bro, I remember the attire they wore. Ground Zero. Shawn Michaels wore the black and white HBK attire. Then Ground Zero was black and blue. Hell in the Cells black and white. Royal Rumble was the red and white. Like I remember everything. Like that's how much I was invested into that rivalry. It's sad that Shawn Michaels' career got cut short for a couple of years behind that casket match.
And he came back and became a better wrestler.
He became a better wrestler because he left the drugs alone. Left the pills alone. Almost killed himself. You know what I'm saying? Like I was a huge Shawn Michaels fan, and they gave out the 2 best WrestleMania matches you could ever say.
The 3.
Those was one of those matches where I felt like that Shawn Michaels really had a chance of beating him.
Yeah. Honestly, the way it was going, even though wrestling is storyline and everything, that he wasn't gonna beat him. Even though Undertaker wanted him to beat the Streak, the first WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
But Shawn Michaels said, "No, I want you to beat me."
Yeah.
It happened. And he had the career match. It happened. So that's my greatest rival right there. That's my number 1.
All right. So Danny, what is your rivalry?
Y'all ready for this?
Yeah.
Y'all probably gonna be like, "What is this young one thinking?" Ready? Stone Cold versus Bret the Hitman Hart.
That
was a good one. I like that. I like that one. That joint was serious.
I wish they had more matches. I'll say that.
I do too, but the build-up leading to the WrestleMania match, and then it turned out to be one of the greatest double turns in history of wrestling. So it worked out. It was always crazy to me how they was able to make Bret Hart a hero in Canada, but a bad guy in the United States.
What you mean how? You know what, Bret is the face of Canada, bro.
No, I get that. No, he was a bad guy. He was a bad guy in the United States, but he was a good guy everywhere else.
Yeah, I would say outside the United States, Bret Hart was the face from Europe, especially Canada, everything. Like he's the GOAT.
But you can't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. People in USA was fucking with Bret Hart too. He was loved almost everywhere though.
Me too.
That's a fact.
Yeah. I think the funniest thing is when the guys.
Bro was loved everywhere.
I think the funniest thing when good guys been good guys for so long and they try to be bad guys.
It just doesn't work.
Nah.
Bro. Saying that real fast, do you think they're gonna turn MJF face?
No, not right now.
He's gonna be a
who face?
MJF. I can't see it. Not right now, though. Not right now.
You ain't see last
That's gonna be kind of difficult. I don't know. I don't think I could be able to take him as a good guy. Like I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
He'll never be face to me.
Yeah, for me too. Nah. I can't picture him coming out like okay. So it worked for Stone Cold, right? The Stone Cold was. If you really want to be technical about it, Stone Cold was a heel his whole career. He was no good guy. The fans just cheered for him, but he stayed who he was. I can't see MJF staying the way he is and then be a good guy.
You know what it is, Stone Cold? Why he lasts so long? He did what everybody always wanted to do in life. he whipped his boss's ass.
But you know what's crazy? If you really think about it, Stone Cold wasn't even around that long.
He wasn't.
Nah, Stone Cold only had about like, if you think about it, 97 to about, he only had 5 good years.
96.
Well, 96, he only had 5 good years because after Owen dropped him on his neck, he was out for like a year. Then remember, he had the fake car accident where he was out for like a whole nother year after that.
Then he walked out.
Then he walked out for like 6 months. So
yeah, he didn't want to drop the title to Brock, right?
So if you think about real time on the job, he only was like real 3 good years.
Nah, it was a title. He didn't want to use the King of the Ring qualifying match to Brock. That's what it was.
Which in retrospect, it makes sense. Like, why would you have a match that big with no real build to it, only for it to be on a TV show where you're going to lose anyway?
WCW, Hogan versus Goldberg.
Yeah, it made no sense. That's why he walked out. He wasn't with that.
Hey.
That's why he walked out.
In WCW's defense, though, Goldberg, at least they advertised that match. They advertised that match. It wasn't a match that you seen like the night before. They advertised it.
Bro, I don't remember no advertising. I remember watching it. And it was like, oh.
Nah, bro, they advertised it like the week before because they made sure they sold that Georgia Dome out. Yeah. DeAndre, what is yours rivalry?
My greatest rivalry, one of mine is John Cena versus Edge. I thought
I'll think about that. That's a great rivalry.
On the
John
map.
Cena. Say it again. John Cena versus who?
John Cena versus Edge.
John Cena versus Edge.
Oh, okay, yeah.
When Edge took the title from him at New Year's Revolution after Cena won the Elimination Chamber, Cena came right back and beat him at the Rumble. And then that set up for Edge and Mick Foley at WrestleMania when John Cena and Edge fought at Monday Night Raw. And Foley was a special guest referee. And then on December of 2006, they just went at it. I mean, Edge smacking John Cena father. I mean, just a whole bunch of stuff that went at it.
But I feel like they didn't have enough matches.
Those two.
He took Cena's belt and made it his. He took the Rated R, made it a Rated R spinner.
Right.
Like, his man.
And I feel like those two wouldn't be where they was in their career if they hadn't fought each other and became rivals to each other.
You think so?
They needed that. They needed that for each other.
I don't necessarily think John Cena
it made him better.
I don't think John Cena needed it. Edge needed it.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this then.
I don't think John Cena, because they was already making John Cena
a star.
But who would you say would be John Cena's greatest heel at that point then? And even beyond that point.
But his greatest opponent?
His greatest
Randy
opponent.
Orton?
Nah. I wouldn't say Randy Orton. I wouldn't say Randy Orton. I'll say more like Triple H. Around that time. I'll say more like Triple H. Because you know Triple H was the man on me at that time. So like when you battling Triple H, like you had your time, like if you battling Triple H. So Triple H made John Cena to me. Like in that era, basically. Like when John Cena already made it, but like when you battle Triple H, yeah, like I think Triple H.
I didn't even think of it that way.
I don't know.
If you want to say that, then JBL.
I'm thinking like, because I'm like, he's now, because now you got me thinking like John Cena's greatest rivalry. I might have to say it might have been Edge. Now that I think about it, it either had to be Edge.
No, of course, yeah. Edge is the greatest rivalry, but like what helped building with Triple H to me.
No,
like especially at that era when WrestleMania 22. I think it was WrestleMania 22 when Triple H fought John Cena at Triple H fought John Cena at WrestleMania 22. I think that's when Triple H was like after he beat up on Ric Flair, made him bloody and all that, and he just like, or was that like after because when he fought Batista, when Triple H fought Batista, and that was the end of Evolution, Triple H was just going on a tear, so he turned on Ric Flair and all that. And I think at that that's when John Cena had just came to Raw.
And then they put.
I think that was like what 06? 06?
When he first came to Raw, it was like I think he was feuding with
Jericho.
I think he was feuding with Jericho. Didn't he feud with Angle too at one point?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was the same time that Triple H was feuding with Ric Flair. That was 05.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so 05 exactly.
So, Bucks, let me ask you a question. Who you feel is like? What is one of the greatest rivalries you think?
I mean, I'm gonna take it back. I got a lot of great rivalries, but the one I like the most was WrestleMania 8, Ric Flair and Macho Man. I say that because it was a whole BS scandal going on with Elizabeth back then. Because Elizabeth and Macho Man got married, and then Ric Flair came along, talk about allegations. He's with her and all that stuff. And them niggas, they had a good fight. They had a good fight at WrestleMania. So, and building up to that, the little segments that they had and all that, the problems that they had, I think that rivalry was legit. I liked that rivalry. It was good. It's just like it was a lot behind it, behind that match.
That rivalry stretched. That rivalry stretched to SummerSlam too, where when Macho Man fought Warrior, they try to play the whole thing of who's gonna turn on who. Then that rivalry stretched all the way to WCW because Elizabeth went to WCW and turned on Macho Man and went with Ric Flair. Yeah. So that whole rivalry just went forever.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the
case, and I like the.
Now go ahead. What you gonna say?
Yeah, that one was good too.
I think the big.
Yeah, I like that one too.
You gotta put rivalries.
The other one with also Macho Man and Ultimate also.
Who, Ultimate Warrior?
With SummerSlam.
Yeah, that match was good.
Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man at SummerSlam '92.
Sure, one of the biggest rivalries I think was always Hogan and Macho Man. That was a real life rivalry.
Oh yeah. That's a classic one. That's why I know that. Mega Powers explode.
Yeah, and they exploded for like 20 years. Yo, Macho Man even did a diss track on
them. Word, be a man. Yeah, I remember that shit, yeah.
Yo, you think
I remember that shit, yeah.
You guys are big wrestling fans. Remember when Hogan had that black eye at WrestleMania 9? They said rumor was Macho Man. You think it was Macho Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, WrestleMania 9. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They try to say Hogan had a boating accident. Okay,
I think they say they claimed that he got jumped or something like that, or
no, they said he had a boat.
But that was Macho Man. Macho Man put them hands on him.
Yeah, they say that parasailing accident.
Yeah, parasail to a fist.
Yeah. I think it was all over Elizabeth, right? Or something like that. Allegedly.
Yeah, over Elizabeth. Yeah, exactly. Exactly over Elizabeth. They never liked each other.
Mm-mm. They said Macho Man, they trust him or her anyway.
No, well, if you ever look at any of the old wrestling tales, Macho Man was overly protective of her. Yeah.
Shit. That's that cream of the crop.
Oh,
that cup of coffee.
Macho Man was definitely a character. Yo, I'm gonna say this next one. This next rivalry, I'm gonna tell y'all gonna laugh because it's the truth.
Hold up, Black Hole didn't go.
No, he did.
Nah, I did my first one.
Oh, yeah. I bet.
So check it out. This rivalry, y'all gonna all laugh, right? Because you guys know this is nothing far from the truth. This rivalry is Vince McMahon versus the WWE Universe.
Where do we start?
Wait, say it again.
Vince McMahon versus the WWE Universe.
In the lawsuits.
No, I'm just talking about the fans in general. The fans constantly being tired of what of the product Vince McMahon put out. Vince McMahon swearing he know what the fans want even today, and that wasn't the truth.
My man been through a lot, man. He had steroid case. He had the feds. He got.
Y'all really believe, bro? I really believe after the steroid case, I really feel like Vince McMahon must have felt like he was untouchable.
Yeah,
he can do whatever he want. He don't care.
And Hogan snitched.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hogan snitched and he still took him back.
Listen,
Hogan snitched. Hogan snitched, took him back and gave him the championship in 2002.
For real.
Well, right?
Yeah. What you mean 2002? You mean WrestleMania 9? He gave him the belt back.
No, he gave him the belt. No, then he gave him the belt back in 2002 after he left him and went to WCW.
I'm still, even though I know we're on the subject, I'm still trying to figure out how the hell did that WrestleMania 9 play out.
That's when
that was that as a kid, right? Not really being a Hulkamaniac, but still appreciating good guys versus bad guys. I wasn't mad at Hogan winning, right?
I was.
The older I got, now when I see it, I'm like, yo, he was an asshole for that. Like, because he politicked to get that. And then on top of that, he was supposed to give Bret Hart the rematch and then decided he didn't want to do it.
He lost his smile too.
That was some sucker shit right there.
Yeah, I hate the fact that he did that. Like, you didn't realize that Hulk Hogan was a natural heel in real life, right?
Oh
like,
yeah.
If you really if you look at Hogan's career, he was a super sore loser.
He was the same one that killed the wrestling union.
And a racist.
Yep,
he's a racist.
But think about Hulk Hogan. Everybody understands some with Hulk. Like, even though everybody hate his business tactics, everything, that man was the face of wrestling his entire career. Definitely went to TNA. When WCW
everybody know about Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, exactly. That man went to TNA and said, "Yo, we going Monday nights." I mean, it didn't work, but they listened to him enough to do it, at least to try it.
Like, TNA had their own problems going on, though.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
they decided to hire Vince Russo again.
But like, that's one thing you can't take away from Hulk Hogan, though, man. That's one thing. No, like him, he was very talented. Like he was a good fighter. He could play a heel. He could play a face very well. Like,
the only guy
when he came to WCW and he became, like he was the third man. I didn't know he could like play a heel like that the way he played in NWO, because all my life I've just been seeing him as a face. And to see him to come and drop the leg drop on Macho Man and stuff like that. What event was that? Like, what, Bash at the Beach or whatever that was? I don't know. I don't remember.
Yep, that was Bash at the Beach.
Yeah, Bash at the Beach.
That was 96.
I was like, wow, yo, that's crazy. And then moving along with the NWO and how his heel turn was going, I'm like, yo, he played a bad guy really, really good. So, but besides that, like everything else, like I don't like, but like his skills in the ring and know how you go about it, like you can't take that away from him.
Nah.
No, that's the only thing I see. Like I like him, and like as far as a heel, I like him as far as a face. I like him for the business, because he was for the business, But like everything else, like outside the ring.
All right, Bucks. Let me ask you a question, Bucks. At what point did Hulk Hogan separate being for the business and being for himself?
He never did.
So say it again.
At what point did Hogan stop being for the business and start being for himself?
Shit.
I can't call it. Like, I don't think he ever did.
That dude booked creative clause in his contract. You can't do nothing without his approval. Like, if you got to be the biggest person in wrestling to be able to get that in your contract, and they'd be like, okay.
Kevin Nash had it.
Yeah, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall they changed the way contracts were set up. Period. In wrestling,
they made that guarantee money. They brought guarantee money. That's one of the smartest things I give them credit for. Like, like they run that guarantee paper. I think that guarantee paper made WCW go bankrupt, but but hey,
it is what it is. Oh, okay. So wait, hold on. We're gonna come back and talk about the rivalries. Well, we had a 30-minute break. So if you're looking to get a podcast on the Evening Rush Network and you don't know how to do it, this is how you do it.
Looking to podcast shows and do not know where to start? The Evening Rush Network can help you with that. Call us at 929-441-2417 or email us at theeveningrushnetwork@gmail.com for dates and prices. We got you for all your podcast needs. The Evening Rush Network. Tune in, subscribe, and share.
All right, guys, we're back. We're over here discussing wrestling's greatest rivalries. Blacko, what's the next one you got?
My next rivalry, actually, my 0.5 best rivalry that I've been following since 1996, Monday Night Raw. The Rock versus Triple H. And
Roy, it feel like they've been feuding forever, right?
1996 Monday Night Raw in Madison Square Garden, when The Rock beat him with that whack-ass crossbody move off the top rope to win the IC title. And to me, that was the wackest match ever. But it was still entertaining.
I'm sorry, first of all, That was Rocky Maivia versus Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Yes, I'm sorry, but excuse me.
Yeah, technical.
I'm sorry, but that was like that right there started it because I was like, who the hell is this guy? Why even though at that time I couldn't stand my man John Paul, couldn't stand him at that time because I hated him from when he came from WCW. So, but as time went and their careers flourished from when they went to the Nation, they went to DX. They put on some of the best matches, and even the guys around them flourished. Look at the DX versus Nation Street Fights. I got to see one of the best ladder matches in person. Someone said 1998, Madison Square Garden. I'm always cherished that. You know what I'm saying? So even to when they got to the championship level, even though Triple H took 2 or 3 years to get there later, when they fight for the title, they still put on stellar matches. And screw Shawn Michaels because he interfered in that first SmackDown match when Rock.
Oh, facts! Super kick. He super kicked the Rock.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my second greatest rivalry right there, hands down.
Yeah, but I didn't like that though, man. Like for real, I didn't like that super kick. Like that was some sucker shit because like that nigga was a real wrestler at the time. You know that he was taking like 4 years off, getting paid, but he gonna come back like to be what he was.
He was
when they had Shawn Michaels come back.
He was the commissioner.
Yeah, around that era and all that stuff. I didn't like that when he came and kicked The Rock. I always thought The Rock and Shawn Michaels should have got it in. Like at least when Shawn Michaels came back.
The Rock never wanted to fight Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, for what Michaels did to his grandmother.
You serious?
Yeah, it's a family thing. He did. What was his You said his grandmother?
Yeah, his grandmother was a promoter and she didn't pay Michaels enough and he cursed her out. And Rock never forgot that.
No, I knew it was something.
What? So Shawn Michaels violated his grandmother?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know Bret Hart.
What? I didn't even know that.
Shawn Michaels is disrespectful. You know, Shawn Michaels was a little disrespectful prick back then.
He was wild back then, but I didn't know he disrespected niggas' family. That's crazy.
I'm not surprised. It's Shawn Michaels. If you read all the stories of Shawn Michaels, I'm not even surprised, yo.
But Bret Hart said though, he said that Triple H and Michaels tried to hold him back though.
Yeah.
They said they tried. They said they tried to rib him.
Oh yeah.
But they said that Michaels left. That's when Triple H, he flourished.
All right,
that's one of the best things that ever happened to him. Honestly, when Michael's leaving.
Let me ask you a question, Black Hole.
Marrying Stephanie McMahon was the best thing that ever happened to him.
Oh, you got that right. But that's it. Yeah, that's definitely. But let me ask you a question. Okay, you have to fire one, keep one, push one. Rock, Triple H, Shawn Michaels.
Fire one, keep one, push one.
That's a hard one.
That's an easy one.
But no,
fire Triple H.
Yeah,
fire Shawn Michaels.
Everybody said fire Triple H.
No, honestly, I'll be very honest with you. Durability, when it comes to it, Rock had, like we saw how Stone Cold had a couple of years. Rock didn't have that long either. So I will definitely fire. And it's gonna sound crazy. I will fire Rock, and I will keep Triple H and Shawn Michaels only because both of them put on hell of a shows.
But let me ask you this, Blacko. Let me ask you this. When you say that, give me one classic match that Triple H put on. One classic match.
One classic match?
One classic match that you can say was a classic.
The 98 ladder match, classic. The match between the match.
Well, I got one classic match. Okay, I could. That's an easy one.
Yeah, like the match.
But I'm pretty sure nobody don't want to talk about it.
Hold on, we'll let you answer
because Chris
Benoit, the WrestleMania match.
That's classic.
That's a classic.
Yeah, that shit was dope. That was a dope one. Triple H, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
That's
a classic one.
You know why I keep Shawn?
But I ain't gonna say nothing else. He asked you the question though.
You want to hear real something funny too? We talk about The Rock, right? I'm a huge Rock fan, all across the board. But we want to come down to it. Rock only has legitly, in my mind, 2 classic matches. The one with Hogan. The one with Hogan, classic. It wasn't a classic because the match. It was the atmosphere that made it a classic. The 98 Rumble, classic. Other than that, Rock matches is great entertainment. Shawn Michaels, classics down across the board. Triple H, he had his class. They have more classics than The Rock, honestly.
I'm gonna tell you why I'd keep Shawn Michaels and get rid of Triple H and keep The Rock, because The Rock is the biggest star in Hollywood. If you want to bring more eyes to the business, you'll keep Triple H. I mean, The Rock before you keep Triple H.
I ain't go that angle. That's the angle I didn't want to go. That's why I said I'm gonna take across the Hollywood stuff out.
Listen,
because
WWE is a sports entertainment company. You got to keep that part in.
But, you know what?
Exactly.
I changed my mind. I'll get rid of Michaels and keep Triple H.
Oh,
just because of what he's doing
damn.
now.
Yo, but you say get rid of Shawn Michaels, but if you say get rid of Shawn Michaels, don't you know you throwing away the Rockers? You throwing away all this man legacy, everything.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, bro. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this: there will be. No
I mean, like Marty Jannetty don't even exist.
Well, Marty Jannetty don't exist now, but that's a whole other
Fact.
You want to know something crazy? At this point in time, Marty Jannetty's biggest claim to fame in professional wrestling is tag teams not wanting to be him.
Not even.
They be like, yo, you don't want to be the Marty Jannetty in the group.
That window's as big as his career.
Yeah,
man, I thought that was the realest shit I've seen on TV.
Bro, the drugs killed his career. Because he was actually in line to win the title from Shawn Michaels, and he got hot the night before. So he messed that up.
Yeah. Yep.
He messed that
no, he actually did win the belt on a live show, and they took it back from him.
No, but he only won the belt
a day later.
You know why he won that belt? He won that belt because Shawn Michaels lied. Vince McMahon found out Shawn Michaels lied about Marty Jannetty. And he found out because of Vince McMahon asking Mr. Perfect's son, and Mr. Perfect told the truth. So Vince McMahon suspended Shawn Michaels, took the belt off of gave it to Marty Jannetty for like 2 weeks, and then gave it back to Shawn Michaels when he brought him back.
I remember he didn't have that too long.
Yeah, you talk about bulletproof wrestler. Shawn Michaels was the bulletproof wrestler.
Showstopper, man. I ain't in front. Shawn Michaels was one of the best entertainers of all time.
Okay, let me ask you a question. That's a good question. Who is better?
Oh, yo, I gotta. Man.
High Shawn Michaels or Perk Angle? Yes, exactly.
Shawn Michaels. That match?
No. Who was just better?
I say Kurt Angle.
No, who was better in general? Shawn
Kurt
Michaels
Angle.
He was high, or Kurt Angle when he was on them perks.
Shawn Michaels.
Kurt Angle.
I don't know, bro.
Kurt Angle.
You gotta look at Kurt Angle in 2006 when he was high. Yo, he was doing some shit like you was sitting there and you just be like, nah.
That nigga was on some that nigga was in 2006, he was on some beast mode shit. Like he was a different Kurt Angle, yo.
I gotta go Angle because he carried the company with being Kurt Angle.
That match with Shawn Michaels. That match with Shawn Michaels.
Classic.
Yeah, absolutely. The WrestleMania one, right?
The WrestleMania when he was trying to remember when they was on the ropes and he was trying to like suplex him off of the rope. I think he was really trying to do that. I think he was really trying to kill that nigga Shawn Michaels. But Shawn Michaels was holding on to that rope. Kurt Angle was different in 06.
Kurt Angle was high.
Nah, the only reason I say Shawn Michaels because, like I said, the rivalry him and Undertaker. That first half of they matches, that's when he was on his drug flow shit. Plus, also, that's when he started stepping into the hardcore scene, fighting the mankinds, the mind games. Mm-hmm. You know, he started going to the tables more. Mm-hmm. Start taking much more bumps. That's why I say him being high. That honestly, between the end of '96 all the way to like '98 before he got hurt, that was some of his best matches because he's really on that shit. Mm-hmm. That's why I said high.
Mm-hmm.
You probably didn't feel half of it.
But Kurt Angle, you already know that's my third, second.
Can I ask y'all something?
No, but I said about
Kurt Angle, high Shawn Michaels, high Jeff Hardy.
Oh no, I take Jeff Hardy out that equation.
Take Jeff out,
but you see, I fuck with the Rock. I fuck with the Rock. Like, I like Triple H. I like Shawn Michaels, and I like the Rock. I like all three of them. You know what I'm saying? But I fuck with the Rock. You know what I mean? More because when the invasion era ever happened, when WCW and ECW, invaded WWE, Triple H was injured, Shawn Michaels wasn't around, and The Rock was holding that shit down for WWE. Like he was in the mix with all that shit was going down, and that shit was, to me, that era right there was kind of crazy.
But that still feel
to me like. I don't know, man. That era was kind of crazy.
That's another Vince McMahon versus the fans because he didn't do that invasion too much justice though.
That's true.
Like that invasion could have been a lot better than.
What's that again?
I said he didn't do the invasion justice though. I mean, part Vince McMahon's fault. The other part was the fact that them wrestlers didn't want to get paid. I mean, they didn't want to leave that paycheck. So, because imagine how different the invasion would have been if you would have had the NWO, if you would have had like Goldberg, if you would have had like Sting.
Yeah.
So,
because they had the reject, not the reject, but like the reserve wrestlers basically.
They had the Dark Elevation wrestlers.
Yeah. The only ones that was really good that they had was like I'll say the Dudleys.
The Dudleys, Booker T.
The Dudleys, Booker T.
They could have had Chris Kanyon if they'd have did something with him, but they didn't want to do DDP. They brought him in.
Did he kill himself?
Yeah,
he got blackballed.
He got blackballed when he came out, right?
Yeah. Just like that guy, he got Orlando Jones.
Orlando Jordan.
Yeah, Orlando Jones.
And Darren Young.
But Darren Young kills it in New Japan Strong though.
Oh,
yeah, he's nice.
You think he'll ever be back in the WWE?
Nah, probably not.
And Kenya was honestly, Kenya got held back because Kenya actually was nice with it, yo.
Kenya was coming up with moves that you wasn't seeing on TV.
I mean, his greatest rivalry was Glacier. You know,
when he was playing the whole Mortal Kombat thing.
Hey, listen, they had me sold.
You really thought Sub-Zero came to life?
Yeah, listen, man. When it comes to Mortal Kombat, Scorpion Sub-Zero is my two favorite characters. Full high punch, B. Taking the head off.
Chill, son. I don't know the reception. I don't know the reception in here like that.
Yo, Jay Andre, what is another rivalry you have?
Another rivalry I have, kind of to piggyback off of Black Gold.
You know the code?
One of the greatest rivalries is Kane versus Undertaker. I mean, listen, Undertaker was a character that did not show no emotion. He didn't show no feeling. He was just a dead man. But then when they said that his brother was alive, Undertaker started to show some emotion and character, a side of him that we never seen. When I look at rivalries, I look at, does this character come out of character and show a side that we've never seen before? And Undertaker did that when his brother Kane came in. When they made the Hell in a Cell, it was designed to keep Kane out, to keep them in it, for Kane to get in. That's what the Hell in a Cell was originally for. I mean, it was storytelling at its finest. And then when Kane did come, Undertaker didn't want to touch him. So now it adds another layer to it because Undertaker didn't want to do nothing to him, where Undertaker was just manhandling them boys at that point. But now you bring this character, this brother, now it's a whole nother story to it. Now their matches,
But you know, Kane never won a match, right? He never won a match against Undertaker.
He never won a match against Undertaker. No, Undertaker never won a match against Kane.
No.
Undertaker
beat him at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
every match him and Kane had, Undertaker won.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I thought Kane won not one match.
I thought you thought.
No, that's a lie. That's a lie. Because when Undertaker came back, when Kane came back, I mean,
in 2009,
when Kane won Money in the Bank and cashed in and won the title, Undertaker came back. Kane dominated him for a couple months.
Yeah, because he wasn't 100%.
Yeah, because Paul Bearer came back in the line with Kane.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I was thinking about.
But look how long it was, though. You talk about another 13 years later, though.
Yeah, that's what threw me up. Because I'm sitting there like, Kane never beat him in the match ever. Like I remember the WrestleMania matches. We had the Druids, one of the hottest entrances. Like Undertaker, he gets some hot entrances. Then I remember Kane buried him alive, but he still lost the match. It's like. Undertaker's the only person I know who got to do some dramatic shit to take time off.
Yeah. Like if he's gonna, if he got a groin injury, he's gonna get buried by three different people before he'll be out for 6 months.
Listen, my man floated in the air at WrestleMania. I'm not WrestleMania, Royal Rumble 1994. That was it for me.
He killed Bossman.
Yeah, he killed Bossman.
He killed Bossman on TV. You can never tell me anything different after that. He hung that man on national TV.
Yo, my next rivalry, y'all ready for this? Y'all out of nowhere. The Miz and Dolph Ziggler for that intercontinental.
You know something crazy? 2016, they had a wild rivalry. So I get it, because that rivalry was crazy. That's what Dolph put his career on the line, right?
Yeah, but I didn't like the payoff because he gave up the title and they never did anything about that.
Ain't that when the Miz brought the Spirit Squad back?
Yeah.
You know my problem with those two? The Miz is a great heel. But to me, it's like he just wasn't used properly. Like, he has great mic skills. He has that Randy Orton heel appeal to him. He just wasn't used properly. Like, they didn't let him step up to the big dogs. But at that time, like you just said, Dolph Ziggler was considered one of the big dogs. But they didn't let him get the John Cena's, the Triple H's, the Batistas, and all that. And if he did, he got squashed.
I mean, you can't really say that because he did beat John Cena at WrestleMania. So you can't really say he did. I mean, although it really wasn't fair, it wasn't. Right. The Rock helped him, but he still beat him. Still got the WrestleMania main event victory.
Yeah, and he took the title for Randy Orton.
True. Then he won the title again last year. Well, 2 years ago. So you can't.
Yeah, but he got squashed for that title by Bobby Lashley.
Absolutely. Which I mean, let's be clear. Lashley deserved it.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
but he shouldn't have squashed him like that.
Nah. I mean, Miz was a chicken shit heel. He was supposed to get squashed like that. Yo, he ducked and dodged. He ducked and dodged him the whole night before he got caught slipping. So yeah.
Here's what I didn't get: why didn't the Miz just DQ himself out?
Because at the last match was no DQ. Remember, he got himself counted out. Then got himself disqualified, and Shane made it a lumberjack match. So he had no choice.
Ran up the ramp with the title. Yeah.
Yo, he waited till right when the bell rung. As soon as the bell rung, he just grabbed the belt and jetted. Yo, that was hilarious. But I think another rivalry, and this is probably going to go back. You can say it could be this man versus one man or even a group, but it had to be Sting versus Ric Flair / Four Horsemen. Because
I'm not old enough to know about that one.
Yo, let's put it this way: Sting feuded with Ric Flair for about 30 years. Literally, like 30 years, right? From like 80, let's say from about 88. Shit, probably even now if they was in the ring together. So yeah, he feuded, yeah, and it was to the point he was even a horseman at one point, and then they jumped him out the horseman, and like that was the first their first match was they had the first match at I think the first Nitro, and they were the last match on the last Nitro.
They did.
So think about that. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So plus their fights in TNA. Like the funny thing is you never got to see them fight in WWE because, a big middle finger to Vince McMahon, he never believed in Sting.
But not even that, bro. Sometimes at that time, they time was well past their prime. I mean, it definitely would have been good if Sting would have signed earlier. Because remember, they was advocating that Sting versus Undertaker match for the longest.
Well, you know the story behind that, right? Remember the rivalry with Triple H and Shone and Triple H and Undertaker? Remember when Undertaker came out of the like rainy house or whatever the case may be, leading up to that feud? That was supposed to be Sting. It was supposed to be Sting and Undertaker. Sting was supposed to be the one that came out the house, but they couldn't reach a deal in time, so they ended up putting Undertaker instead. So think about what happens, and I'm just mad we never agreed. We never got the Sting Undertaker match. Like cinematic or not, we never got it. So yeah. KD is funny. He said Rivalries, Diddy versus Mace. Yeah, he's stupid. Yeah, you're right though, bro. You're right. But yeah. So, and you got any other rivalries?
I'll give you one that wasn't that long ago, but I really enjoyed it. Is Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe. NXT,
yeah, they had a great rivalry. Samoa Joe owned them though.
Yeah.
I think Samoa Joe was the first one to beat the Demon, right?
Yeah, he was the first one to beat the Demon. Mm-hmm. Oh, and to give an honorable mention for the woman, Bianca Belair versus Bayley.
I was thinking Sasha versus Bayley.
Sasha versus Bayley was good, but honestly, I enjoyed the Bianca versus Bayley more, like her getting like she had I don't know why. I just enjoyed her more. Like, I really didn't enjoy the Sasha versus Bayley feud. I don't know why. I think that it was rushed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I didn't really get to enjoy it that much.
I think one of the other biggest rivalries too, and you'll find this to be hilarious. Is is all the WWE championships versus vacant.
Versus vacant. So the women's tag team titles.
Oh no, Vince McMahon versus the women's division.
Bro, Vince McMahon versus God, bro.
Oh no, that wasn't even a good. Now see what happens when he went a feud with God. God got him back on his own time. Now look at it.
I was thinking of that this morning. I was like, God damn it. Vince McMahon said beat God in one pay-per-view, and God got him.
I said that when KD
he took his whole company away.
Oh, you know it's crazy. We didn't even talk about that rivalry. KD's right. Stone Cold versus Vince McMahon.
Nah, that wasn't. It wasn't.
That's a great rivalry. That's what really got Stone Cold off the ground. The Bret Hart was the start, but the Vince McMahon thing was like that was the launching pad. Like you said, it was what everybody wanted to see. Somebody beat their boss's ass.
What about one thing, Bo? And that this led to two companies too. Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio.
Halloween Havoc.
I was gonna mention that too.
Because I mean, I had to give a shout out to the little guys because like you think about it, like I watched this thing on YouTube, called Wrestling Bios. I told Rellz about that, and he relives the war. That's the series, Reliving the War, and he goes through. That's how I remember some of these rivalries. And I ain't gonna lie, Eddie versus Rey Mysterio is classics.
It is.
Every match they had, classic, and that's why WCW used to do the smart thing by letting them go on first.
Mm-hmm. Oh, WWE did it too because that was the beginning. I think that was the first match for WrestleMania 21. And the story behind that was that Eddie was getting frustrated because he couldn't beat Rey.
Yep.
To the point
but it's always been like that. He never been able to beat Rey.
Nah, WCW's beating him left and right.
Yeah, he beat him. He only beat him one time in WWE. He tried to take his son from him.
Yeah, right.
And now look at it because his son don't even love him now.
That's fucked up. But I'm gonna be honest with you. A rivalry that I feel like they copied and pasted that rivalry. It was Edge versus Batista. Batista can never beat Edge for the title.
Yeah, it was always a rivalry. But if you go Batista, I had to think Batista's biggest rivalry was Triple H.
Actually, that's not that's WWE hiding facts. Batista did beat Edge when they had the Gold Rush tournament back in 2005. Batista beat Edge.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but sometimes WWE tends to not want you to remember certain things.
Right.
Yo, KD, LOD versus Demolition. I can't even consider that a rivalry. That was more of a rivalry based on fans more than actual wrestling. Because when LOD got to WWE, Demolition wasn't even a competition for LOD no more.
Exactly. Demolition sucked at that time.
Yeah. Ric Flair versus Dusty Rhodes. Now, I know that was a rivalry for the ages, but I was too young to really understand that rivalry. I never paid attention to that.
That was black people wasn't allowed to go and serve restaurants. I don't know about that rivalry.
You stupid.
That's too old for me. That's too old for me. Hell, hold on. Shawn Michaels versus Kevin Nash. That was a damn good rivalry. No. Excuse me. That's old. No. Chris Benoit versus Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar.
I didn't want to say that because that was too obvious. So I went with the technical specialties. So that's why I went with that.
That's when Brock Lesnar almost broke his neck.
Yeah.
Yo, yeah. I was Brock Lesnar for his last match against Roman. He should have busted out the 5-star.
No.
Just one more time. No. Just one more time.
No.
Just one more time.
Man, he ain't doing that move no more. He scarred to death for that shit.
I think he did it one time though, like since he came back and he missed it.
Nah, I think he scarred.
I think he did it at a pay-per-view.
Oh shit, I'm bugging. RVD versus Jerry Lynn. I'm bugging. What am I doing?
Oh, I forgot all about. You know, it's crazy. I should be ashamed of myself. I forgot all about that feud.
That's one of the main reasons I watched ECW. I couldn't wait till they fought.
I just say if that's the case, if you remember old ECW, I got to say the Gangsters versus the Gangsters versus Eliminators. Yeah. Oh man, yo, I think the funniest thing about that is when the Gangsters used to wrestle, the music's played the whole match.
Yeah, he had something heavy, bro. You know,
I remember that shit.
Wasn't the Gangsters New Jack and
Mustafa? Yeah, Mustafa.
Talking about old ECW, Psychosis versus Ray.
Yeah.
That whole
Chris Brown.
Oh, you know what an underrated rivalry was? DDP versus Macho Man.
Yeah, that was a dope rivalry though. I like that rivalry.
Because Macho Man actually put DDP on the map. Nah, Tommy Dreamer and Raven. You can't. There's no Tommy Dreamer without Raven.
Tommy Dreamer and
I really don't like Tommy Dreamer too much. I'm like
Tommy Dreamer.
I don't know. For some reason, I never liked Tommy Dreamer too much.
He's mad generic. He's mad generic.
He's that wrestler that you make at the beginning of the game, and that's exactly what he looks like.
Yeah, man, plain.
Yeah,
but yeah,
like, Tommy definitely like Sandman. Sandman was trash. Like he was. Sandman was trash.
I mean,
Sandman looked like somebody's uncle that they just said, "Hey, you want to come wrestle?" He was like, "Yeah, let me just
take this beer and take this Kindle stick and just go to the ring. You'll be
all right. Right, just smash this over your head and your forehead, like you know what I'm saying, mad time.
Let me ask you a question. What would you rank Ahmed Johnson versus Farouk?
Nah, I'm not. I'm sorry. Nah,
I mean, you can't really rate that, man, because like
that was personal.
Farouk didn't fuck with Ahmed Johnson. They were beefing.
They were beefing, and then they was on the same team for like 2 weeks.
Bro,
and then
he kicked him really in his kidneys, son. Like,
yeah, he really did.
It's no more business. You just try to kill me just now.
Right. Don said the Freebirds versus the Von Erichs. I'm gonna say I was no. I've seen matches with those, but I'm too young to really grasp Piper versus Snooker. Only thing I remember about Piper versus Snooker was Piper hitting Slicker with the coconut.
Well, right, that's a classic. Hell yeah, that's like one of the only like scenes like that they really showed with that rivalry.
I got a rivalry. Bobby Heenan versus Hulk Hogan. that was one time because there's never been a time where Bobby Heenan is like Hulk Hogan. Even when Hogan turned heel, he still hated Hogan. Like,
he never liked him.
He was one of those guys that when Hogan turned heel, he said, "I told you guys for years Hogan was a snake, and nobody believed me." Like, and then you sit there and you're like, "Yo, you're right." Like
and he's the biggest weasel of them all.
Yeah, and he's sitting there.
That's the greatest announcer, man.
He was like, "Yo, I've been telling you guys he's a snake, but nobody wanted to believe me."
Yo, you name some good rivalries. But there's one I'm waiting for you to say, like one rivalry that I'm waiting for you like to mention.
Nah, go ahead, mention it because we about to end the show soon. So go ahead.
All right, the disrespectful rivalry ever: Jerry the King Lawler against Bret Hart when he was disrespecting his family at Raw, when he was next to his moms and pops, just disrespecting them. Like, yo,
bro, you are correct.
Y'all remember that, right?
I wanted to fight Jerry Lawler for Bret Hart.
Yo, but the thing is that Jerry Lawler was always a great heel.
Yeah,
he was.
Jerry Lawler was a great wrestler in his time. It's just that commentating shit really dwindled him.
He was a great wrestler in his time, and by the time he got to WWE, it was like he was old. Vince McMahon didn't really care for him wrestling anymore. So it was like,
but that nigga's a good shit talker.
Nah, that kiss my foot match was the most disgusting shit I've ever seen in my life. Because Bret Hart really stuck his foot in his mouth. He wasn't supposed to do that.
Yeah.
He wasn't supposed to do that.
He lucky he did that, man. Nigga was talking mad crazy about his moms.
That's why he did it.
All that shit.
He said that's why he did it. He said because because the shit he was saying, cool. He said, but how he was saying it was borderline disrespectful and it wasn't scripted. He said he felt like he was saying true. He said we got the chance. That was his payback. Son, somebody sweaty feet in your mouth? Yo, bro. Nah.
We fighting.
Nah.
See, dog, I can't really say Sting versus Luger because I mean I've seen them fight, but I've seen them more on the same side than I actually seen them really fight each other.
Yeah, word.
Yeah, they're like more like a tag team.
I will say this though. Luger did make Sting a bad guy for a little bit in WCW for a brief second. It was like and then Sting was a bad guy for all of like maybe like 3 months, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't take Lex Luger serious.
That was like the end of ECW days.
Yeah,
I mean WCW.
Yeah, yep, exactly.
I can't take Luger serious after this idiot cost himself the title run at SummerSlam '93.
Oh, by getting drunk and going out the night before saying he was gonna win.
telling people in the bar you're gonna win the title, then you win the match by disqualification. These motherfuckers had confetti and everything coming down like you won. That was my end of my Luger shit right there for me.
Yeah,
and plus in the Royal Rumble and WWF Raw Games, I couldn't do his move. So Luger was trash.
He said I couldn't do his move. He's stupid. Yeah,
that nigga's trash.
Yeah.
Fuck Lex Luger.
You stupid.
That ass running far.
Oh, you see what
that
it
nigga
look like now? Yeah, I was
yeah.
gonna say, you see what it look like now?
Steroids, man. That shit wore off.
It wore off. It just destroyed his body.
Yeah, that shit wore off, man.
I don't even think Luger could body slam me right now.
That nigga can't even. That nigga look bad.
He can't even stand up properly though.
Nah, nope.
Yeah, I'm convinced Scott Steiner ain't take steroids. He still look the same, yo.
Nah, I don't know. Hey, KD, don't put that. I know it's
happening. Scott Steiner looked like he just drank a lot of beers.
I still won't fuck with him.
Nah, I wouldn't either. That man walked to the ring with a tiger.
I don't know what you think about this dude, Jinder Mahal.
Ooh, that dude was jacked. He had them steroids.
He was small before pause. Like when he left WWE, he wasn't how he was when he came back in 2016-17.
Bro, he came back super juiced up. You could tell because he had the steroid bumps on his back.
Yeah, exactly.
He had mad pimples on his back.
Yep. So everybody, I mean, I feel like in WWE, if you get juiced up, they look at you. If they're gonna push you, they're gonna be like, you know what? I
feel the same. And I don't know. I feel the same way about Drew McIntyre because when he left, he was small too.
Yeah, but Drew McIntyre at least he looked like his juice. His juice didn't look too bad though.
Yeah,
it doesn't look unnatural.
I believe it. But yo, thanks everybody for tuning in for tonight. Yo, we had a good show talking about greatest rivalries. Yo, Bucks, good looking. Appreciate you.
You already know.
Yo, Blacko, appreciate
Thanks for having me.
Yo, Danny, appreciate you.
Yo, I saw that podcast you did with Elijah too, bro.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't checked that out, make sure to go and check it out. It's a great podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that too. Yo, but thanks everybody. Yo, have a good night, y'all.
All right,
have a good night. Man.